Hi. This is Channel 6 by 9 Storyteller on my channel. The best stories that happened in life with people are collected. I wish you a pleasant viewing.
My 24F mom, 57F, was diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's. It's progressing like a freight train downhill, and my father is no help. I need some wisdom from those who've been there before because I want to be there for her and have no regrets later on. My mom is a sweetheart. She's one of those people you meet and just want a hug. She's always been devoutly religious, in the rare way where everyone is equal and everyone should be treated with the greatest of kindnesses. She was a 4th grade teacher. She loves horses. She loves buying people random gifts. She likes to giggle and be goofy, and geeks out for everything from musicals to Star Trek. She is the best kind of mom for my brother and I. 2 years ago, she was having trouble filling out the regular paperwork for her job, and worse, she was losing students on the way to the school bus. Her principal basically forced her to seek medical help, and she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 57. When she had her diagnosis, she was forced to retire early, only a few years short of getting her full teaching pension. She's currently in mid-stage Alzheimer's. I was accepted into veterinary school 8 hours away during this time, so we've been living the past 2 years apart. I see her on holidays and a few times during the summer, because I see her so infrequently. Every time I go it's worse. It doesn't even seem all that long ago that she was diagnosed, but she's already in the stage called aphasia where she has trouble talking. She leaves most of the conversation to my father now. I don't know how to handle it. I know I'm not handling it well. I can see pieces of her slipping away and my gut reaction is to let go of people before they can hurt me. I can't stand calling home because I mostly have to talk to my dad anyway, as her aphasia limits her conversation. Meanwhile, I worry about her care with my dad. He complains to my brother that we never ask how he's doing or how he feels as the caretaker, when really he's the only one I've ever talked to about his feelings. He says we only ever ask about her, and I just want to scream at him, "Well, you're not the one with your brain melting out of your ears." I've rarely asked my mom, because she's just not the sort of person to complain and tell you. She just makes jokes about her condition even though you can see how trapped she feels. My father has also made her go through a divorce, so when he puts her in a nursing home in the future, the nursing homes won't take his money. I've mentioned other ideas like at-home aides and he won't consider them, as my dad has spent his money on 2 big screen TVs and not 1 but 3 30-feet boats. I can't help but see his actions as selfish. I told my dad they both need therapy for what they're going through and that he'd have to do it for mom. He agreed, and then only put himself into therapy. My brother and I have also talked about how moving closer to her 4 siblings would probably make a huge difference. Right now the only real daily contact she has is my dad, but my father hates her family, so that's very unlikely. He complains about my mother in front of her, and one time when he got mad at my brother he asked, in front of her, mind you, if my brother would like to switch places with him and be the caretaker instead. I think my father is a borderline emotionally abusive person. He takes care of her but extremely grudgingly. If she doesn't understand something he starts yelling. She only ever speaks kindly about him though and says, "Your dad is such a good person to put up with me and he does all these things for me." She's not in the state now to defend herself against his yelling and frustration. My brother is very acutely aware of these things and lives closer than I do, but he's unfortunately not much help. He has a poorly controlled personality disorder. He is basically my father with less self-control, and when he tries to talk to my dad they both just end up screaming and calling each other assholes. I don't know how to talk to her now. She was recently told she can no longer drive, and when she told me I didn't know what to say. Mostly I just try to smile and act like these things aren't a big deal because I don't want her to feel worse than she does already. How should I react when she tells me something new and horrible about her condition? I want to support her and keep her happy, but I have no idea how to do that. Her conversation has become simpler and simpler, but yet there's still that awareness behind it where when I'm nodding and smiling while she's struggling to get her story out, I can see in her eyes that she knows she's doing something off and she's too trapped to do anything about it. So I feel like nodding and smiling and being patient during her aphasia is akin to vicious patronizing and that I'm making her feel worse. My brother sees more since he's around her more often, and says when she's left to her own devices she starts talking to herself at first, and then she starts silently crying. I've become so numb to this that I only get upset when I'm either waking up from a nightmare about her or when I'm drunk. Then it feels like my chest is squeezing so tight that I can't breathe. She's the light and joy of our family, the part that keeps us together. and I can't believe she's getting taken away from us at such a fast pace. I feel like my dad should be trying everything at this point, like getting her to take daily walks every day or trying different dietary supplements, but he tries nothing other than her prescribed meds. I know he loves her, but their daily habit of waking up at 1 p.m. and then sitting in front of the TV until midnight does nothing to help her. I don't want to live with any regrets, and I want to be the best daughter I can be for her. I want to know what I should be doing to make the most of the time we have left together.